Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Jacqueline Jax from JaxWatercolor, and I'm going to be painting the Magnolia watercolor tutorial. This is a bold spring palette with a little metallic surprise. There's a soft misty background, and I think you're really going to enjoy the results here and the way this palette just brings magnolias to life. This beautiful season that we have is one of my favorites. It's where we can paint all these expressive blooms using the watercolors. I use JaxWatercolor, but you are welcome to use whatever watercolor inspires you. If you do want this kit, there are some available at the time of making this video. Just look for the spring watercolor sets at JaxWatercolor. I will leave a link to all of these lovely colors in the description box below. But you know, magnolias are one of spring's most inspiring flowers, at least I think so. They bloom so boldly on bare branches, and they symbolize beauty, they symbolize resilience, and they are all about the renewal of spring. So let's try and bring that into our art today. There's something so timeless and graceful about them, and their petals are soft, yet so powerful. So I want to try and capture the delicate yet confident feel that I get when I look at these magnolias. I'm taking the first color, which is Magnolia Blossom. It's kind of like a pinky red. It's very bright, but you can add a lot of water. So I'm using the Neptune round size 12. So it holds a lot of lush water and a lot of paint. Now remember, these paints are highly pigmented. They're a honey-based binder, all organic with no fillers. So you're getting 3 times the strength in the pigment because there's nothing else but pigment and binder. There's no fillers kind of getting in the way or filling up the body of the paint to give you more for less money. But with that being said, they're highly pigmented, right? So you want to just use a little bit and kind of get a feel for, with your palette, how much of the pink you want to use before you start adding in the other colors. Now I, as a rule, tend to paint the background petals a little lighter than the foreground petals, because as you can see, it just kind of gives me that dimension right off before I even have to add layers. If you'd like to give that a try, I would suggest you try it because it makes it a lot easier. And then if you let the petals dry, you can go over the foreground petals a little bit more, or even enhance some of the centers or the shadow lines on your petals. So depending on the final effect that you're looking to get, there are lots and lots of ways that you can play here. And I hope that you will subscribe to the channel and come and learn with me as often as possible. But the goal with this one I wanted was to paint loose, to paint expressive, to work with the boldness of the palette and still get some of the softness into the mix so that we had that sense of dimension. And like I said before, it creates more of an atmosphere for each petal, right? By not giving it a full brush stroke, by making the marks more symbolic and making them more expressive, we're kind of like getting those different tones. If you noticed in some of the petals, I kind of touched a little bit of the blue with the pink, and it gives that nice little violet shadow. I designed that palette for that color because I wanted the blue to stand on its own and the pink to stand on its own, but together I wanted to get that beautiful misty kind of lavender color so that we could use it for the shadows. And really that was my intent in mixing these two colors in this palette together. It's actually a very powerful quad because there's so much that you can do with it when you start mixing and matching just these 4 colors. Now, of course, one of the colors is a beautiful metallic pink, which I'm going to show you how to use in just a second here. But aside from that, you have everything you need just to make tons and tons of magnolias. I'm taking the blue, and this is a gorgeous, bold, royal flush blue. It's somewhere in between a cobalt and an ultramarine, but it's really royal, you know? It's such a pretty color. When you mix it and let it kind of blend a little bit with your flower, it will flush out from the flower in such a lovely way, which is something that I love about watercolor. Now, as you noticed, I did the stem already and I let it dry. In the areas where it's more dry, I can actually brush over it once. Now, this is Jack's 100% cotton watercolor paper, which does come in the kit. And the reason why I gave you paper is because I want to try and set up success for you. I want you painting on the same thing I'm painting with so that you can get similar results. And so, you know, you're not seeing the paint go in every direction because the paper is shifting differently. I noticed that if I take a wet brush and I just kind of smooth over some of the pre-dried paint, I was able to move and dislodge a little bit of the paint to get more of a misty kind of look. It loosens the style of the art, and I thought it was neat to show it to you here, which is why I'm doing it. I'm just kind of ever so slightly, not rubbing, but just letting the brush go over some of the pre-painted areas. And then I'm going back in and using some of that wet kind of area before it dries to just kind of drop in some shadows of what might be more magnolia tree branches in the background. Now, we know it's wet on wet, so they're going to disperse. And that's the point. I want to kind of play with some areas that are more dry and some areas that are very wet to let it disperse, knowing that when it dries, I have the option of being a little more detailed. Now that we're on the topic of details, let's not detail out our flowers too much. If you notice, I'm very, very careful what I remove, what I blend, and what I add. And I'm trying to connect the shapes. The reason why is because if we were to add disconnected marks, it would be a lot more detailed looking. And you would kind of bridge that area of, am I going to be more realistic with this painting, or if I'm going to stay loose, I need to stay loose. So by just kind of thinking of shadow painting, right? That's how we're going to keep it loose, but then add a little more layering and add a little more color. And now it's time, we're just hitting it with that pink metallic. It is just, I mean, you can't go wrong. It is the most beautiful color. It's just stunning. It's called Pink Champagne, and look at that brilliance. It's going to be hard for me not to use it on every single painting because it's just so pretty. But I think it really worked out here. I think it was perfect for this palette. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please share your work on our group page on Facebook. And if you haven't subscribed to the Jax seasonal watercolor set, I am currently making the summer sets. So if you subscribe now, you can get them in the mail at a much cheaper price and with bonus gifts. I hope you guys enjoy yourself. Go to Jax Watercolor to find everything watercolor that you need. And don't forget to come back for more tutorials. Have a lovely day.